Hey guys, post-editing, Pocky here. This video is a bit long, so I hope you can buckle in and prepare for about 30 minutes of content. This took me a little bit longer to edit. I also, in between recording the video and starting to edit the video, I got top surgery. So for those of you who don't know, I am a trans man. I use he, they pronouns, and I recently went through top surgery on February 29th, so I'm a leap year baby. So this video has taken me a bit longer to edit as well as record, so I hope you guys still enjoy it. There are some parts that aren't super edited. I didn't have time to film a speed paint for this one. I just wanted to get it out to you, so this is more podcast style. So feel free to do something else while you listen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first thing first, I would like you to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I go by Cindryshoo online, and I'm an artist. I started streaming a lot, so this gave me kind of a window to doing art, and make money from it.
Nice. So one of the first questions I wanted to ask is, you can tell me a little bit about your educational background.
Yeah, so really interesting. I'm Asian and my parents are very Asian. So traditionally they were saying art is not a full-time job. You can't make money from art. And as a little kid, I'm like, of course, artists, poor. So
Yeah, I was taught definitely the same thing.
yeah. So I actually started off after high school pursuing a degree in property, and I bailed on that. And instead of doing art, because I knew, we made no money, I decided to pursue a degree in a bachelor's in communication design, so graphic design.
When did you first start being interested in art and being an artist?
I think I have a family of 2 siblings, and the first one's academic, the second one's sporty. And for some reason, I had the artsy kind of vibes. So I've been drawing since I was a kid, but I've never taken like official lessons or anything. It was always something I was obsessed with. I was a dragon kid. I don't know if anyone knows someone like that.
So when you went to college, there was never a question of, should I go to an art school or anything like that?
I don't think that was possible in my little brain cell. In my Bachelor of Environments, so property and urban planning, it was still very design focused. And I knew that through, personal life and visual communication in high school, I understood that you could get a corporate job with a graphic design degree, and I didn't know how art would fit into it. So to me, that felt kind of natural.
My parents also kind of pushed the whole, like, if you can get a corporate job out of it, then maybe you can be an artist. But
yeah.
It's the whole mentality of stability, I guess. Having said that, with your educational background, did you have a full-time job that was related to that background before you decided to start being a full-time artist? And if so, did you enjoy it?
Oh, great question. The answer's no. I mean, I did have a job, yes. The answer is no, I didn't enjoy it. I think being a graphic designer is kind of tricky. You can always fall into a bad company or people that don't get it. Unfortunately, the company that I was hired by, I worked 4 days a week, so to me, I consider that part-time as someone who's like almost millennial, almost Gen Z. And I really struggled with, because this was in lockdown as well, the company was basically going under, so instead of having a team of 10 graphic designers, they just hired some fresh out of uni graduate and went, go do the job. So I was left to my own devices. It's not something that I really enjoyed, but in the future, if a better opportunity comes up, it might be something that, I have the skills for, so why not?
Mm-hmm. Did you consider yourself kind of lucky when they did just kind of hire you, or was it more of just, did you feel unprepared and a bit overwhelmed?
Oh, that's really funny. Can I have a side story? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I realized my Twitter that gets the most likes, like the post I make, is, hey guys, I got a job. And then like a few months later or a year later, it's like, hey guys, I'm quitting. I'm so excited. So I just quit my job like a few weeks ago. I handed in my resignation. And I just noticed this trend. But it definitely made me feel like when I got hired, I was like, oh my God, I'm official. I can work in industry. This is how I can get started and find what I really wanted to do. Because I don't really have any specialties. I don't think I've found my passion. Like in My Little Pony terms, I don't think I found my cutie mark yet.
I honestly feel a little bit in the same boat. I'm a little bit kind of searching myself still. What kind of brought you to the point of deciding to quit your job finally?
Well, it's a mix of two things. Roughly, I try and do the Australia convention circuit. And I've had a blast doing it last year. I did 15 events in total, which to me, I'm like, I could do more. And this was that kind of change of, I really want to grind it out because there are always things that I can improve on and definitely parts I feel lacking. And that's why I want to pursue it. Also, my manager quit and she was the only one keeping me there.
In that position, were there any projects that you had to work on that were something that you were excited about?
Oh, yeah. If you know the brand, like skate brands like Santa Cruz or Independent, I worked basically with the licensing in it in Australia. A lot of these entry-level jobs, you are technically what I would call a Photoshop monkey. And I was Photoshop monkeying my way through it. Some things were interesting. Sometimes I'll design actual things that we printed at like large sizes, giant billboards for like a drinks brand. But I remember designing skateboards for a charity event and that was really fun, really cute. They released it after I left, but I still managed to grab some photos for it. So
Now that you're pursuing art full time, are there any current or future projects that you are wanting to work on?
The main thing I want to do is, I guess, how far I can go regarding conventions and events. I technically have two brands. One's got Cindryshoo, which is like my Twitch, my socials, my anime, all that nerdy stuff. I just want to get better and make more things for it. And understanding trends is something that I have to acknowledge and be like, what series do I love that can make money? Because I don't draw Genshin because I don't play Genshin. And I fully respect people who love Genshin and draw a lot of Genshin. Go make that bank. But I have to be like, what manga am I reading? Is it coming out? Is it good? Is there good backing? Do I think I can make a lot of money to fund existing as a human being? And the other side, which is, I would say, like my personal project, is something called 5 Claude. I think it's good to enrich your life outside of being an artist, which I sometimes forget. But I'm a dragon dancer, and during like Lunar New Year, we go out and perform and things like that. That's a really strong part of my like Chinese identity. I started brand focusing on like celebrating Chinese heritage, dragons, lions. That's like pretty important to me.
Very nice. What excites you the most about being a full-time artist?
In my context, I want to do events. So the best thing about it is not about catching the flight, but it's about traveling. I think that's really exciting. I love conventions. Like I've grown up in this space. Having the opportunity to, explore Australia. I've been to literally cities that I've never thought I'd go to, like our capital. If anyone knows what the capital of Australia is, put it in country.
Put a comment down below if you know the capital of Australia.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's like a genuine whole, but like being able to explore and enjoy things like that, like road tripping with friends, going to Singapore and New Zealand has been like so fun. Yeah, Love it.
Do you mind if I ask you kind of what your living situation is? Like, are you living alone? Do you have roommates? Are you living with parents and things like that?
So I moved out of home to live with 2 roommates, very chill, very cool. And judging by shifting to full-time artist, I'm making the executive decision to either move back home or move somewhere else due to the fact that it's much less stable and I don't know if I'll hit the money goals that I expect, but I should be able to, but I think for the extra stability, I have, the privilege for my mom to be like, of course I want you home, Cindy. I love you. Aww. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. She's never said that before. Only after I left home. So watch out, guys. It's a trap.
Are there any other challenges or problems that you currently deal with or expecting to deal with in the coming future as an artist?
Before I got my graphic design job, I was just streaming every day because, I didn't have a job. I understand how lonely it is to, well, we had lockdown last time, so everyone was lonely, so that was fine. But how lonely it can be when you're not traveling, not seeing people, not, regularly seeing coworkers and things like that. You need to make conscious lifestyle efforts if you're becoming a business owner. There's always challenges like financial, And I fully don't recommend people just being like, oh, I think I can do this, without living your life and seeing how something like conventions fit in your lifestyle. I'm on the boat of, I'm in my 20s. If there's any time to take a risk, it might as well be now. I've tried to think it out as well as I can, and it's a risk I'm willing to take. Yeah, it just takes a lot of money because you have to book conventions. This is like a pip. You have to book conventions like 6 months in advance for like really big ones. At the start of the year, you're out like $3,000-$4,000 plus whatever stock you're ordering for the year, and you're like, what happened? Like, I bought Christmas stuff and now I spent too much on Christmas, and then I was like, wait, I need a budget for this year, and I was like, oh, oops. Like, problem solving these are really fun. So
I have talked to a couple of people who have gone to Australian conventions as well as like across the US. They do conventions full time, and that's their job of just making art and selling it at conventions on tables and things like that. And a lot of them has said that sometimes it's hard to break even when things start costing a little too much. In order to have a table. So I know a lot of people like start sharing tables and things like that. Have you had to face any problems with conventions and trying to book conventions?
A lot of Australian conventions are jury processed. So you have to really believe in your work, and not only believe, but like have a very clear understanding of how you should fit into, the events you're applying to. Because with conventions, there is this very honest part of yourself being like, will someone buy this? And a lot of artists within the community will be like, oh my God, I'll buy your art so much, or I love it so much, I'll buy it when I see it at a convention. But bringing it down to it, you got to be honest. If number one, the popularity of the series, how good is it? Do you think someone will actually buy it? And the really tough question of, is your art good enough to sell? And absolutely, if you want to start conventions, do a half table, do a third table. I've seen people do quarter tables, and I'm like, it reduces your cost and entry of barrier to go into this event to see how far you can push it. But I am truly a believer of understanding marketing statistics and things like how much you should invest and how much you should expect to return. It's always a good conversation to have with others that you trust or people around you in the space to see what you can do with your budget and, how far you can go. I've had the privilege of having friends in this event, or in previous, like they've started in high school and they're like, oh, conventions are just a hobby. So I've been able to see them grow and see what I can take and learn from them or other tables and then just build upon myself. At this point, I wouldn't do 2 tables for 2 brands, but I would definitely take a full table for myself. And there's always these little tidbits that I love telling people about, like how to maximize your convention table, like big brain it. And that's like a topic I really love thinking about. So I hope it reflects in my sales and my display, because I'm still working on it.
I will ask you, so a main component of your revenue are working conventions and making merch. Have you ever handled like commissions or anything like that?
Yeah. So I do, basically I'm a freelance. When someone comes up to me, they're like, oh, I want this illustration, or so that's just a supplementary thing if someone is interested.
You're obviously very busy. You say you have 2 brands. How is it that you typically schedule out your day to feel the most productive?
So I actually made in Illustrator my own calendar for the whole year to schedule things. And I've got a Notion going. I think how this year's going is basically planning it around convention periods. There are months where it's like 3 conventions in a row or 4 conventions in a row. And you sure as hell aren't drawing during that time. If you are, you're a monster, and I'm very impressed and I want to learn how to do that.
A machine.
Yeah. It's horrifying. They're very powerful when I see my friends do that. I plan my days around that. And mainly manufacturing deadlines. Something like charms might take a month to 2 months and a half. Enamel pins might take 2 months. Prints will take, 3 days. So like a week before the con, you're like, I can pull 1 more out. Watch me.
1 more print. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
like a big thing is Notion. I love Notion for planning conventions, budgeting, planning if I've paid for things to conventions. Yeah, it's a lot of planning. It's really fun. Like accommodation, flights, travel, parking. Also con dinners. Like, my friends know that I only plan Saturday con dinners because after Saturday, which is normally day one for us, no one wants to fucking plan Saturday after the con. Like, everyone's dead tired. So I always plan it. Like, who wants to come to dinner? We're going this is general budget. React to my Discord message if you want to come. Normally con dinners, I think minimum, it's like 10 people. And maximum, it's been like 28, maybe a bit less.
Holy shit.
I know. And this is my one tip if you're ever planning dinners at conventions. People are either flaky or they always have plus ones that they forget about. If you're booking for 15 people, just add 3 extra spots. Restaurants don't mind cutting down some seats, but if they have to fit extra, it's much harder for them. So always book extra. So you can always be like, oh, you want to come to dinner? Absolutely. I still have space.
Prepare.
Yes, but that's the only thing I do. If you ask me on Sunday, I might as well just have Macca's for dinner. Do not care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, is there any advice that you would give to, you can imagine as like maybe your younger self or any aspiring artist who are wanting to do art full time?
There's like 2 pieces of advice that I give to like different people that I 100% believe in. And I do want to preface this with, if you do conventions and it's like Twitch advice, right? Don't compare yourself to others, because some people are going to conventions to be like, if I pay back my table and I see my friends, that is a fucking win for me. Like, I'm having a great time at a con. I don't have to pay for a ticket and I get to share my favorite fandom. And then there are people, unfortunately, I have to be one of them, that are like, hey, I need to make sure I make a profit. I can keep living and keep doing this. And clearly, these are at 2 very different scales. So as long as you're very clear of what you take from conventions or take from art or take from any kind of hobby that may have monetary gain to it, you're very clear of what you want and what you find satisfactory, because that will only make you happier at you're, at the end of the day, enjoying it for yourself. The other thing is, if you do a convention, I fully believe in filling your space. So if you have 2 products for half a table, someone will walk through and see 2 products and then just walk away. They won't stay. No matter what your table space is to fill it. If you have 1 grid, you better fill it with stickers. Like, there's low investment cost items, like stickers, like badges. And then there's things like prints. The price difference is very different. But prints, your art has to fit either A4, A3, A5. As a designer, I see people drawing something that would be so cute, so cute as like a Twitter post, but then it wouldn't be suitable for an A3 poster. You need to consider how your art fits within, a physical world, and to fill the spot, and you can only grow from there, because the more stuff you have, the more someone will stay and be like, oh, I love this style. Is there anything I like from it, or any fandoms that align with me that I will buy? The lovely thing about anime cons is that people want to buy, and they want to buy from their favorite series. And if it aligns with yours, isn't that just a fantastic thing? That you get to talk about Madoka, where the movie hasn't, it got released in 2017, and you're like, oh my god, did you see the new trailer? Or like,
oh my god,
did you see the latest One Piece episode? That vibe that I really thrive off of. So, cons are meant to be enjoyed. That's one really good thing about this market. And yeah, as long as you're enjoying it and finding, satisfaction through whatever expectations you've set for yourself, you're going to have a great time.
So you're also streaming.
Yes.
Do you also rely on that income as well?
Twitch. Sorry. As a note, sorry for laughing at Twitch, but
it's okay. You can laugh at them. This is YouTube. We're okay.
As a non-booby streamer, I don't make as much money as I used to. And that being said, when I did it full time, I'd be like, oh my god, I got a payout of X amount of money. And then I'd sit down and be like, I could have earned that in a day, in a full-time job. Twitch is a very fun ecosystem, but about money, being money focused, I don't think is my preference. So in this way, I like doing cons as a full-time job. I don't think being a Twitch streamer as a full-time job is something that's in my capacity. But That being said, I love streaming. I've been streaming for over 3 years. That's horrifying. Chat, if you're seeing this, what the fuck?
Oh my god, old.
Actually, someone's like, oh my god, follow age, and I'm like, don't. The amazing thing about Twitch, and definitely you would like relate to it, is community. And
Yes.
I believe in having a place where very relaxing, very chill, everyone can catch up, and I would not be I would not be at conventions as much as I am now if it wasn't for Twitch chat. A lot of places that I've been to, I've had the privilege of having chat come up to me. Like, I would say 95% of conventions, chat would come say hi to me. Like, someone from chat would just come in and go, hey, Cindry, how you going? Do you need water? And, like, isn't that such a fucking gift? Like, my heart. Like, people have seen me cry at cons because they went, I love watching your stream. And I just view, like, it hits me so much because I started streaming in lockdown and things like that. When I wanted to do AFA at Singapore, I took that's all it is, Miles, a leap of faith. And I was panicking. I didn't know how to get anything organized because art is a part of my life and a part of my stream. I'll talk about it. And chat was like, hey, are you going to Singapore? I'll see you there. I'll come support you. And they really backed me up, really helped out in every regard I could have ever asked for, and then above and beyond. They kept me fed at a convention, which is very hard at an international one where you don't know anyone. So it's just big things like that I feel very privileged that I've been able to continue streaming and have the support of everyone around me. So
yeah. Sounds like you have a very good supportive community. I've said this before to a couple people, but I'm a big believer in that art is a sense of community and connection with someone, because that's all you're trying to do when you make art, is to find something relatable to someone that can, connect with you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Twitch has changed my life for the better.
Unfortunately, me too.
Every artist that I've met a lot of convention artists from Twitch as well. It's just a nice place to connect. I enjoy the little space that we just hang out in and talk about anime and things like that. I don't know how the future will go, but you might as well try, no matter what it is. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all the questions that I had for you.
Oh.
Is there any closing remarks that you want to give?
I think the fact that people are drawing and enjoying things and making is always important. So whenever you have time, life is not easy to sit down and draw, but whenever you make something, post it. People will see it, and I would love to see it. Post it, share it. Yeah, I think you're very right when you say art is about connecting people. Design is about creating solutions. So they go hand in hand. Wherever you come from in your artistic journey, I think I'll say I'm definitely proud of what you've made.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, well, where can people find you?
You can follow me at Cindryshoo on Twitch, Instagram, or Twitter. Yeah, find me over. Come say hi at a convention. I'd love to say hi to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
Of
oh my
course.
God.
Oh my God.
Privilege.
We're besties now.
Oh.
Awesome.